Have you ever wondered what would happen if one day you were no longer at the top of the food chain? On the Indonesian island of Flores, a tiny species once lived in a world filled with danger. Here, giant storks as tall as NBA players roamed, and colossal lizards with teeth like daggers reigned supreme. On this island, the hobbits were not the only protagonists. It was an entire miniature world born from evolution. Local legends speak of a mysterious creature called the Ibu Gogo, a small, hairy, cave-dwelling humanoid. These tales emerged long before the actual discovery of hobbit fossils. Could this be a lingering memory of another human species that once coexisted with our ancestors? You might have heard about the Flores Island Hobbits, but I guarantee this time you'll hear a completely different version. Inside Layang Bua Cave, after descending a set of ancient stone steps, archaeologists unearthed a nearly complete and bizarre skeleton. As the excavation deepened, the remains of at least 15 individuals were uncovered. This wasn't just a group of small-statured modern humans. It was an entirely new human species. Homo floresiensis. Their average height was merely 106 centimeters. Almost half the height of an average modern human, and a full head shorter than the shortest modern populations. Weighing only about 27 kilograms, they were essentially miniature people. Because of their size, they were affectionately nicknamed hobbits, a fitting title as their stature was nearly identical to that of the hobbits in Tolkien's the Lord of the Rings asterisk. But they weren't just small. Their brain volume was only around 380 cubic centimeters, the smallest known among all hominins. Yet, because their bodies were also tiny, their brain-to-body ratio was still reasonable, comparable to that of Homo erectus. This means they possessed intelligence and were capable, resourceful humans. So the question arises, why did they become so small? This brings us to a fascinating evolutionary mechanism known as island dwarfism. In simple terms, when animals become trapped on an isolated island with limited resources, large bodies become a liability. An elephant, for instance, requires vast amounts of food daily, but an island simply can't sustain that. As a result, the larger individuals starve first, while the smaller, more resource-efficient ones survive and reproduce. Over time, elephants evolve into miniature elephants. Conversely, small animals without natural predators on an island can evolve into giants, a phenomenon called island gigantism, where a rat might grow to the size of a cat. Humans are no exception. It's Homo floresiensis. Likely evolved from the much larger and stronger Homo erectus . When a group became isolated on this island, over thousands of generations, the genes for smaller, more energy-efficient bodies were favored. Eventually transformed into miniature humans perfectly adapted to their island environment. This is not just an evolutionary marvel, but also a reminder that we, too, are subject to the laws of nature, constantly adapting just like any other animal. Despite their small brains, the hobbits were far from primitive. Evidence shows they were skilled toolmakers, crafting crude but effective stone tools. These implements, though simple, allowed them to hunt the island's giant rodents, gather mollusks from rivers, and likely scavenge the carcasses of juvenile stegodon, a type of extinct miniature elephant that also lived on Flores. This demonstrated a level of ingenuity and cognitive ability that allowed them to survive in a challenging environment. Their ability to organize hunts and process food showcases a complex social structure and intelligence that defies their small cranial capacity, proving that brain size isn't the only measure of cleverness. But Flores Island was a perilous place, a predator's paradise. Among the most fearsome threats was a giant marabou stork, leptopelos, robustus, standing nearly 180 centimeters tall and weighing around 16 kilograms. It was one of the largest storks in history. It was too heavy to be an efficient flyer, instead stalking through the forests and coastlines like a prehistoric terror bird. This giant bird likely preyed on giant rats, reptiles, and even humans, especially the young or vulnerable Homo floresiensis . Even an adult hobbit could have been killed with a single strike from its massive beak. Imagine a flock of these birds towering over you, wandering through the jungle. You and your family hide under a tree root, but one suddenly turns its head towards you. Seconds later, your entire family becomes its meal. This was the stark reality for humans when the descendants of dinosaurs still ruled their world. As you can see, this story is far deeper and more astonishing than the word hobbit implies. Frightening giant storks might not have been the only avian threat the hobbits faced. A species of giant owl, Tyto, Pollens, also inhabited the island. While primarily scavengers, they were known to actively hunt small prey. For a petite hobbit, being caught alone would have made them an easy target. But more lethal than any bird was the island's true king, the Komodo dragon.
Ow.
These giant lizards are native to Flores and share the same land with the hobbits. They can grow up to 3 meters long and weigh over 136 kilograms, with evidence suggesting they were even larger in the past. They are the apex predators of the Flores food chain. Their mouths filled with backward curving, serrated teeth reminiscent of theropod dinosaurs. Even more incredibly, their teeth are coated with iron, making them exceptionally hard and sharp. They also possess a potent venom. To this day, Komodo dragons roam Flores, a constant menace to any smaller creature, including humans.